Ani Jayek Minigishget. Gezoudesat and Deshnikas Bodhiwadamin Dao Ming and Dodum. Hello, my friends and family. I hope you're having a wonderful day. My name is One Who Helps Children, Gezoudesat. I am Potawatomi Bodhiwatomi Loon Clan. And welcome back to my kitchen. I just wanted to do a quick story to talk about preserving food. It's that time of year that you all should be preserving food that you have worked so hard to grow or harvest or trade for during the spring and summer. So this is a very busy time of year for me. I am canning, freezing, drying, etc., getting stuff ready for the winter and next spring. It's always something ongoing. So I just wanted to share a little bit of what I've been working on. This is all dehydration. I dehydrated some zucchini and crookneck squash. You can do this all in your oven. Just do it on the lowest setting possible and make sure there's plenty of air circulation. So then you can do like zucchini chips as well. You can use a dehydrator, just use your manufacturer settings. But if you don't have a dehydrator, that's fine. Just use your oven on the lowest setting and make sure air circulates. If you don't have a convection oven that keeps that air circulating, just prop the door open a little bit. You'll be fine. I also did sun-dried tomatoes. It's just dehydrated like cherry tomatoes with some smashed garlic and olive oil with salt and pepper, oregano, maybe some basil, and let it sit, and there you go. And that's like a second, like they're dried and you've got them in oil. They'll last forever. I did strawberries that I like cut in half and then dipped them in maple syrup, of course, and then dehydrated them. Raspberries are great dehydrated. Now I also like to store these in airtight containers. I really try to stay away from plastics as much as possible, though it's really hard to do sometimes. So I like mason jars. I like Tupperware if I can't, like if I have to travel or if I'm using freezer, then I'll get like freezer Tupperware. But I really love mason jars. They can be used over and over and over again and it's not plastic. Cherries. Now I pitted the cherries, I halved them, and then I like dipped them in maple syrup and then put them in the oven or the dehydrator, and they turned out gorgeous. And they're still like moist and yum. So cherries, I did some bananas. Now I cut them about in half of an inch. And then I dipped them in my blueberry vinegar syrup, and they are so yummy. So you can like experiment with what you have. You can just do plain bananas or you can dip them in something. Watermelon, this is the first time I've tried watermelon. And so I knew it would need to be thick because it's watermelon, it's mainly water. So I did them about a quarter of an inch, not a quarter of an inch, I did them an inch thick. Excuse the phone ringing in the back, we'll just let it ring. So I did it a full inch and you can see like it's still pretty thin. So I wouldn't go any lower than an inch. I would say an inch minimum on your watermelon. And again, you can use your oven. I would put these on parchment paper though to make it easier to lift off of your pan, and then just turn it every, I don't know, 4 hours or so if you're using the oven. I did ginger. Now this ginger, it was really interesting. I've never really dried ginger this way before. And it was a huge root, like big, fat, juicy root. And I cut them into like sizes of 2/4 stacked on each other. I don't know what the dimension, it's just 2/4 stacked on each other. And this is what came out of it, this little tiny jar out of that big old root. So it's jam-packed, so you won't need to use that much. You could grind it and put it in recipes. You can add it to teas, which is what I really use it for. This is for my son. He goes through this, and it's just dried citrus. I just cut these about a quarter of an inch to an inch thick, and he just eats them like chips. So I make sure, I don't grow citrus here, so when I get it, I make sure it's organic. And then of course wash the outside, and then I don't worry about him eating the skin, the peels. I love to put these in teas, whether it's sun tea, sumac tea, or just regular hot tea, and you want a little bit more citrus. But these are really for my son. So instead of a cookie jar, he gets citrus chips. Yeah. And then make sure you're preserving your seeds for next year, I always keep at least 2 years of seeds on hand. For example, this year I had a bum crop of corn. So, but I still have tons of corn that I have stored up in case that happened. We had 2 huge monsoons that came through right back to back, and it just destroyed the corn. So luckily I still have seeds, no problem. So make sure you're preserving your seeds for next year as well. And I think that's about it. If you have any questions on preserving or dehydrating your food or canning, freeze, whatever, let me know and I'll do a segment on it. I guess I just assume that people go to other sources or they know already. So I don't know, this is all new to me. And I also want to take this time to thank you because of your interest in just what I do has given me a new purpose in life. And it has really brought me joy. So thanks to all of you for bringing me this much needed purpose in this segment of my life. You have made me so happy and you have made me feel a part of, and that's something that I really, really needed. Community. Community means more to me than it ever has before. And I just thank you so, so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Chi miigwech. And until next time, Bama P.